In your own time, begin for Cymbeline.
Thou toldst me when we came from horse, the place was near at hand. Ne'er longed my mother so to see me first, as I have now. Pisanio, man, where is Posthumus? What is in thy mind that makes thee stare thus? Wherefore breaks that sigh from the inward of thee? One but painted thus would be interpreted a thing perplexed beyond self-explication. Put thyself into a haviour of less fear, ere wildness vanquish my staider senses. What's the matter? Why rendest thou that paper to me with a look untender? If be summer news, smile to't before. If winterly, thou needst but keep that countenance still. My husband's hand. That drug-damned Italy hath outcrafted him, and he's at some hard point. Speak, man, thy tongue may take off some extremity, which to read would be even mortal to me.
Please you, read. And you shall find me, wretched man, a thing the most disdained of fortune.
Thy mistress, Pisanio, hath played the strumpet in my bed, the testimonies whereof lies bleeding in me. I speak not out of weak surmises, but from proof as strong as my grief, and as certain as I expect my revenge. That part thou, Pisanio, must act for me. If thy faith be not tainted with the breach of hers, let thine own hands take away her life. I shall give thee opportunity at Milford Haven. She hath my letter for the purpose, where if thou fear to strike, and to make me certain it is done, thou art the pander to her dishonour, and equally to me disloyal.
What shall I need to draw my sword? The paper hath cut her throat already. No, 'tis slander, whose edge is sharper than the sword, whose tongue outvenoms all the worms of Nile, whose breath rides on the posting winds and doth belie all corners of the world. Kings, queens and states, maids, matrons, nay, the secrets of the grave this viperous slander enters. What cheer, madam?
False to his bed. What is it to be false? To lie in watch there and to think on him, to weep twixt clock and clock, if sleep charge nature, to break it with a fearful dream of him and cry myself awake. That's false to's bed, is it?
Alas, good lady.
I false? Thy conscience witness, Iachimo, thou didst accuse him of incontinency. Thou then look'st like a villain. Now, methinks, thy favour's good enough. Some jay of Italy, whose mother was her painting, hath betrayed him. Poor I am stale, a garment out of fashion, and for I am richer than to hang by the walls, I must be ripped to pieces with me. Oh, men's vows are women's traitors. All good seeming by thy revolt, O husband, shall be thought put on for villainy, not born where it grows, but worn a bait for ladies.
Good madam, hear me.
True honest men being heard, like false Aeneas, were in his time thought false, and Sinon's weeping did scandal many a holy tear, took pity from most true wretchedness. So thou, Posthumus, wilt lay the leaven on all proper men, goodly and gallant, shall be false and perjured from thy great fail. Come, fellow, be thou honest, do thou thy master's bidding. When thou seest him, a little witness my obedience. Look, I draw the sword myself. Take it and hit the innocent mansion of my love, my heart. Fear not, 'tis empty of all things but grief. Thy master is not there, who was indeed the riches of it. Do his bidding, strike! Thou mayst be valiant in a better cause, but now thou seemst a coward.
Hence, vile instrument, thou shalt not damn my hand.
Why, I must die, and if I do not by thy hand, thou art no servant of thy master's. Against self-slaughter there is a prohibition so divine that cravens my weak hand. Come, here's my heart. Something's afoot. Soft, soft, will no defence, obedient as the scabbard. What is here? The scriptures of loyal Leonatus. All turned to heresy. Away, away. Corrupters of my faith, you shall no more be stomachers to my heart. Thus may poor fools believe false teachers. Though those that are betrayed do feel the reason sharply, yet the traitor stands in worse case of woe. And thou, Posthumus, that did set up my disobedience against the king my father, and makes me put into contempt the sweets of princely fellows, shalt hereafter find it is no act of common passage, but a strain of rareness. And I grieve myself to think, when thou shalt be disedged by her that now thou tirest on, how thy memory will then be panged by me. Prithee, dispatch. The lamb entreats the butcher. Where's thy knife? Thou art too slow to do thy master's bidding when I desire it too.
Oh, gracious lady, since I received command to do this business, I have not slept one wink.
Do it, and to bed then.
I'll wake mine eyeballs first.
Wherefore then didst undertake it? Why hast thou abused so many miles with a pretence? This place, mine action and thine own, our horses' labour, the time inviting thee, the perturbed court for my being absent, whereunto I never purpose return. Why hast thou gone so far to be unbent, when thou hast ta'en thy stand, the elected deer before thee?
But to win time, to lose so bad employment, in the which I have considered of a course. Good lady, hear me with patience.
Hook thy tongue weary, speak. I have heard I am a strumpet, and mine ear therein full struck can take no greater wound, nor tent to bottom that, but speak.
Then, madam, I thought you would not back again.
Most like bringing me here to kill me.
Not so, neither. But if I were as wise, as honest, then my purpose would prove well. It cannot be but that my master is abused. Some villain, aye, and singular in his art, hath done you both this cursed injury.
Some Roman courtesan.
No, on my life. I'll give but notice you are dead, and send him some bloody sign of it, for 'tis commanded I should do so. You shall be missed at court, and that will well confirm it.
Why, good fellow, what shall I do the while? Where bide? How live? Or in my life what comfort when I am dead to my husband?
If you'll back to the court.
No court, no father, nor no more ado with that harsh, noble, simple nothing, that Cloten, whose love sweet hath been to me as fearful as a siege.
If not at court, then not in Britain must you bide.
Where then? Hath Britain all the sun that shines? Day, night? Are they not but in Britain? In the world's volume, our Britain seems as of it, but not in't. In a great pool, a swan's nest, prithee think, there's livers out of Britain.
I am most glad you think of other place. The ambassador, Lucius the Roman, comes to Milford Haven tomorrow. Now, if you could wear a mind dark as your fortune is, and but disguise that which to appear itself must not yet be, but by self-danger, you should tread a course pretty and full of view, yea, happily near the residence of Posthumus, so nigh, at least, that though his actions were not visible, yet report should render him hourly to your care, as truly as he moves.
Oh, for such means, though peril to my modesty, not death on't I would adventure.
Well then, here's the point. You must forget to be a woman. Change command into obedience, fear and niceness the handmaids of all women, or more truly, woman its pretty self, into our waggish courage, ready in jibes, quick answered, saucy, and as querulous as the weasel. Nay, you must forget that rarest treasure of your cheek, exposing it. But the harder heart, alack, no remedy, to the greedy touch of common kissing Titan, and forget your laboursome and dainty trims, wherein you make great Juno angry.
Nay, be brief. I see into thy end, and am almost a man already.
First, make yourself but like one. For thinking this, I have already fit, 'tis in my cloak bag, doublet, hat, hose, all that answer to them. Would you, in their serving, and with what imitation you can borrow from youth of such a season, for noble Lucius, present yourself, desire his service, tell him wherein you are happy, which will make him know, if that his head had any ear in music, doubtless with joy he will embrace you, for he's honourable, and, doubling that, most holy. Your means abroad. You have me rich, and I will never fail, beginning nor supplement.
Thou art all the comfort the gods will diet me with. Prithee, away. There's more to be considered, but we'll even all that good time will give us. This attempt I am soldier to, and will abide it with a prince's courage. Away, I prithee.
Well, madam, we must take a short farewell, lest being missed, I be suspected of your carriage from the court. May the gods direct you to the best.
Amen. I thank thee.